So here we are then, once again, with F1 2021. I'm Joe, if you're new around here, and welcome to part 6 of our Immersive Driver Career with Alpine F1 team. And today, we have got the French Grand Prix, which is one that I've often done well at in the past, but never really fell in love with the circuit. So, it is interesting. We have been very, very quick in practice. I've been very impressed with our pace. We were second in P1, and then I simulated P2 and P3. So we are ready to go. We are raring to go. Let's see if we can get in Q3 in this race, or around in this Grand Prix, and hopefully we can get our first points. Okay, then here we come up to the line. Very much a safe first lap this, but what's it going to be? It's a 130 flat. Slightly quicker than Fernando at the moment. We will go round a second time, see if we can improve on that at all. But a good start here, and as I say, I think we have got some decent pace, which I'm really, really happy with. So, as you can see, slightly quicker.
Less than a lap of fuel now.
In sector 1. And you can just see I've got so much more confidence in the car than what we had in Canada. You know, I just couldn't seem to find a good setup round there, but we've set up the car absolutely perfectly this weekend, and it's on rails basically. You know, this is going to be a very quick second lap for us if we manage to... No, I was going to say if we manage to finish it, but we've run out of fuel unfortunately. But that shows what is possible in Q2, and I might even go on the medium tyres in Q2 to give us more options in the race. But yeah, very, very happy with that. We now come into the pit lane, and yeah, very, very happy, as I say, with that first flying lap time. Let's see if it's good enough to get through Q1. Well, as you see, both cars very comfortably through to Q2. Fernando Alonso pretty much setting the same time as us. We know that we've got more time in the bag, but 5/10ths of a second ahead of Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Russell, Mazepin and Latifi, who are all out in Q1. Well, here we come up to the line on the medium tyres. What's it going to be? A 130.2. So slightly slower than our Q1 time, so I don't think any chance of us getting through on the medium tyres, unfortunately. So we'll just look after these tyres now, and hopefully bolt on the soft tyres and go through nearer to the end of the session. Well, this has been a sensational lap, and we come up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 128.9, which is enough for P1 in Q2. That is unbelievable. I told you the pace was good around here. We are absolutely flying. A 128.9. And that is the fastest lap in Q2. And, well, look at Fernando Alonso. He is out in Q2. 1.4 seconds behind us. But we were faster than Valterri, Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo. And surely we couldn't be going for pole position here. I'm just happy to be in the top 10 and fighting our first Q3. Well, here we come up to the line then in our first flying lap of Q3. We come up to the line. It's a 129.1, 2/10ths slower than we were in Q2, but it's enough currently for P3, which around Alpine's home race would be a terrific result. I don't think we will quite finish there. We probably have got a little bit more time in the bag, but Well, it's all going to come down to that final lap. Surely we can't go and get pole position. But 1:28.7 there from Bottas, I think that was. That might be out of our reach now. I think we extracted everything in that 1:28.9. And there you go, Hamilton goes even quicker than that with a 1:28.6. So, you know, to try and find another...
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
5/10 out of the time I've just put in. That's going to be extremely tough. But hey, P5 would be amazing.
Okay, let's go.
So here we go, we're heading out for our final flying lap of the session. A potential pole position on the cards if we play our cards right. We're going to go on the lean mix for the out lap. Get these tyres nice and warm. That's got to be the objective, and well, there's only a couple of cars behind us. Here we go then, potential pole position lap. Let's ride on board and see how we get on here. That's a good first set of corners. Lucky not to get a track extension warning and invalidated lap. Stayed just inside the limits. And it is actually a purple first sector. As we now fly through onto the straight. And, well, we're 2/10 up at the moment. Very important section coming up. This is where you can gain or lose a load of time, and unfortunately for us there, we lost the time, and that is going to be that. That is our pole position run ruined. P5 is looking like where we're going to start, but we'll watch all the guys come up to the line. Bottas goes quickest with a 1:28.5. Is Hamilton going to beat that? Is Hamilton going to be able to beat that? What about the Ferrari? He doesn't go above us. Hamilton can't beat that. Hamilton starts P2 then. Verstappen goes into P3. We're just going to come into the pits. What about Perez? He goes above us as well. Well, what a shame. P7 it's going to be then, but by far our best starting position. What a qualifying session. What a lap that was.
Finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Bottas, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Well, a very good performance, and I do feel confident we can get points today. After that session, we've got good pace and over a 50%er. I think we're in a really good position. We're going to obviously be starting on the soft tyres, on the tyres we qualified in Q2, and of course got that incredible 1:28.9, which would have been good enough for P5. We probably had, you know, another 10th in it. Maybe could have qualified P3 today, which would have been extracting absolutely everything out of the car, but the times were just so close today. So if you got a good lap, you got a bit of a slipstream, you were able to do something very, very special. And well, Mercedes, they are well ahead with their car. They're looking unbeatable. McLaren looking very, very good as well. But if we can finish in this best of the rest position of 7th, I'll be very, very happy. Let's see what Anthony Davidson and David Croft have got to say about this year's French Grand Prix.
Here we are again then at Le Castellet for another round of this year's Formula One World Championship. Renault took their first French Grand Prix win all the way back in the inaugural race in 1906, but it was another 73 years before they could take their second. I'm sure Alpine will be pushing hard to delight the local fans here today. A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1, so how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, and Perez. The captain, Sainz, Leclerc, and Sebastian Vettel. Stroll, Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, and Raikkonen. Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, George Russell, and Nikita Mazepin. Latifi and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
That maybe explains Fernando's
This is our
poor
engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth
form
watching.
around here. Obviously, home Grand Prix for the team, not Fernando. You know, he only qualified 14th, but he took a grid penalty and is starting in 20th. So we will just have to see. I mean, there is this strategy here with the mediums. I wonder if we can possibly go on to the softs towards the end, although they do look like they die pretty quickly. But I suppose we'll just see how it goes. So without further ado, let's get into the action and onto the formation lap. I'll see you guys when it's time for lights out. So here we are then, reforming the grid for the race start. And we're all ready to go here. Teams are back in the garages. The lights are ready to come on.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
So here we go. Lights out, away we go here in France. It's not a great start off the grid, and look at Sainz. What a start he's had, and the Aston Martin of Vettel as well. As we hurtle towards turn 1, we go down the inside of Vettel. Risky move considering he's there on the outside as we go into turn 2, and we do just settle down into the race in 9th position. We know there's plenty of time for overtaking in this Grand Prix. No point going for anything too stupid, and we do just back out of that move there. With that in mind, we know there's no need to absolutely floor it at the start of this Grand Prix. We can settle into it. We've got good pace around here, and certainly should have better pace than the likes of Tsunoda and Gasly behind. So we could... Well, you join me at the end of lap 1. Apologies about the cutout of the footage. Still happening, unfortunately, despite my best efforts. But we are still behind Sebastian Vettel, and they've just settled into the race now. And hopefully we can now start putting our lap times in and thinking about when we're going to make a move on Seb here. Unfortunately, there's our first warning of the day. That gives us a little bit less leeway. We get 2 warnings before it is a 3-second penalty, and we haven't had any of those so far this season. So it's a little bit annoying to lose that warning so early on, but that's the way things go. 3, and we've got DRS. Vettel's got DRS on Sainz as well. And this is going to be a great chance for not just Vettel, but also us to get through on Sainz here. No DRS up this section, unfortunately, but we are right in the gearbox of him here. And this is going to be a huge moment early on in this Grand Prix. How fast can we get back past Sainz and hopefully onto Vettel as well? Because I think if we get past these two, we've got a chance of catching up to that battle for fifth.
For now, everything's looking good.
Well, here we are into the pits then for our first pit stop of the day. Two-stop strategy, of course, and well, let's see how we get on. Well, that's annoying. We weren't let out as quickly as maybe we could have been, and I think potentially we could have been out ahead of Vettel there, but we are going to lose some crucial tenths on him.
Of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for
That
dangerous
is annoying.
driving
He's
if you
going to be
cross
like
over to the
3
track.
seconds ahead. That is very, very frustrating, but we've got to accept it and move on now. Hopefully we'll get the undercut on Carlos Sainz. Well, there is Carlos Sainz then. We have lost a lot of time in the pits then. And that is a bummer, really. It really is, but just have to get our head down now and get on with it, basically. Well, look at this. Sainz, Vettel struggling to get past Mick Schumacher here. That gives us a chance. A little bit of contact between Schumacher and Sainz. We had to back out of that. Luckily, we did get through. And now on to Sainz. Well, they're now struggling to get past Nicholas Latifi, so this is going to be another good chance for us here. Just got to pick our moment. Well, we go down the inside of Sainz, and we are through on him. And now Sebastian Vettel is the next one.
Nice overtake.
Is he going to get past Nicholas Latifi here?
7.2 seconds.
He is, which is going to hold us up. But we managed to get through on Latifi in the next turn, as long as Latifi backs out of it, and he does, so the legend that he is. Well, look at this, Vettel up ahead, off the track pretty much, trying to overtake George Russell here. We're just holding back slightly here, waiting for the opportunity to arise, but similar to when we overtook Sainz, there could be a nice little opportunity here. We go around the outside, which of course turns into the inside line there, and we are through on Sebastian Vettel. Russell doesn't have DRS, so we can use our DRS to close in on him. Going to be able to make a move. It would be a pretty late lunge. I don't think it was worth it. But we go round the outside.
Yet, but, we've seen a problem at our end. We're looking into it.
Oh no. Well, it would be typical, wouldn't it, that in the Grand Prix, where we've had the most pace, we have our second ERS fault of the season. Potentially that's what it could be. Everything else is brand new in the car, so I can't see it being any of our engine components, but
okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire.
No!
Sorry about that.
Wow, I cannot believe it. Oh, what do we have to do to get points in this game? Oh, We are out. We are out of this Grand Prix with a mechanical failure. That is devastating. That is absolutely devastating. We were fighting our way back through the field, but there's absolutely nothing we can do. I'm gutted. I am absolutely gutted. I think we could have fought for 6th in that race. We were just flying there.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Fernando Alonso. Wherever he is, whatever team he's in, when is he not just brilliant? He'll give you a performance every time, just like he's done today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
I'm just still in disbelief, really, of what's happened there. Gutted, absolutely gutted, but that's where we will have to leave it for today. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.